In the year 1526, Pedro Serrano, a Spanish sailor, embarked on a journey across the vast and treacherous Atlantic Ocean. Like many seafarers of the time, his ship was at the mercy of unpredictable storms, and one such tempest shattered his vessel, leaving Serrano and a handful of survivors clinging to life. As the waves raged and hope dwindled, the remnants of the ship were cast upon a barren, desolate atoll somewhere in the Caribbean. Serrano found himself utterly alone, abandoned on a strip of sand and coral where no trees grew, and no fresh water could be found. When the sun rose on that first lonely morning, Serrano surveyed the bleak island. It was scarcely more than a sandbar, a cruel joke played by the ocean. The only inhabitants of the island were crabs, birds, and the occasional sea turtle that lumbered ashore to lay its eggs. The salty air burned his throat, and hunger clawed at his stomach. Despite the despair that threatened to consume him, Serrano's will to survive outweighed his fear. His first challenge was finding water. Days passed without rain, and he grew weak under the unrelenting sun. Serrano began collecting every drop of dew he could scrape from the rocks in the early morning, and when rain finally came, he built rudimentary basins from seashells and turtle shells to store the precious liquid. For food, he relied on the island's few resources. Sea turtles became his lifeline. Serrano devised methods to catch them as they came ashore, turning their meat into sustenance and using their shells for tools and storage. He scavenged bird eggs and caught crabs with his bare hands, eating whatever he could to stay alive. Fish were abundant in the surrounding waters, but Serrano had no tools to catch them. With time and ingenuity, he fashioned a crude harpoon from driftwood and turtle bones, mastering the skill of spearfishing in the shallows. The days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. As isolation set in, Serrano struggled with the mental toll of his predicament. He passed time by marking the days in the sand and building shelters from the sparse materials the island offered. He constructed a hut from turtle shells, driftwood, and bird feathers, providing scant protection from the searing sun and violent storms. Yet, no matter how well prepared he was, every storm that swept across the island felt like a fight for survival all over again. The loneliness was crushing. Serrano longed for human connection, and in his desperation, he spoke to the sea, the birds, and even the wind. He prayed fervently, clinging to his faith as a lifeline. His survival became a testament to his resilience, a daily battle against the odds. Years passed in this way. Serrano had long given up hope of rescue, but he never stopped scanning the horizon for a ship. Then, one day, after 7 long years, salvation came. A passing Spanish vessel spotted the smoke from a fire Serrano had lit.